All right, a very big welcome to you, my viewers and subscribers from all over the world. Thank you for joining me on another great episode of your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. It is an offense to refuse officers entry and exit from your house. Delta State Police Public Relations Officer Bright Edafe. Now, someone has to call the Nigerian police to order. These people have completely turned a blind eye to all their excesses. All they do is threaten Nigerians when Nigerians complain. They issue statements that other criminals like kidnappers and armed robbers may leverage on to harm the citizens. Nigerians are saying police officers are operating like criminals. I don't think any Nigerian would refuse to grant police officer access into his house if the police officers showed up at his house at around 7:30 a.m. in the morning or 4:30 p.m. in the evening with a search warrant. But when men storm my compound at an odd hour with face masks asking me for access without warrants, then I have every right to deny them access, especially with the present level of insecurity in this country. And I hope you know that criminals, armed robbers can leverage on this statement issued by this public relations officer. They can leverage on it and begin showing up at odd hours, demanding access to people's houses in the pretense of being police officers. This whole country is just in a mess right now. And a few hours ago, Nigerian students disgraced the TINUBU regime. It was TINUBU who moved to disgrace them first, but they quickly overturned it and returned the favor. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that, another massive update came out of the National Assembly. The APC has indeed vowed to completely destroy the educational system in this country. Senators are now demanding bribes openly from vice chancellors of universities before they approve their 2025 budgets. Before I show you details of these top stories and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you these videos. The first video here is one that has now gone viral. Police officers turned up to a building carrying guns and wearing face masks, and they began asking the occupants of the building to open their gate for them. No warrants, nothing. And when occupants refused to open the gates, these men began firing into the air and they started scaling the fence into the building. See the video.
We need to open that gate. We need to open that gate. I'm your boy. Imagine police people, face mask, coming to my house to support our dog. Say we are protesters. We are protesters.
Baba, we need to open gate too.
We need to open the gate. We need to open the gate. We need to open the gate. Your what? We need to open the gate. We need to open the gate. Jesus Christ. Get down. 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 Get down first, bro. Go inside. Go inside. Go inside. Wait. Jesus Christ. Make calls. Make calls.
Wait, see shift down. No. Jesus.
Make calls. Wait.
Guys, see, wait.
Push up. With this, so.
But the way my guy.
Jesus Christ.
Hello?
Hello?
Jesus Christ.
After you hear me? Hello?
Jesus.
Hello?
Don't bring it.
Come over there. Go back. Go back. Sure. We didn't play beside. Get some.
Can you imagine that? What is the proof that those men are not armed robbers? Where is it written in the laws of Nigeria that law enforcement agencies have the right, to jump over people's fences? Things have completely gone out of hand in this country. The worst is, if you go near that man who scaled that fence, I can't call him a police officer because I'm not sure. He didn't act like one. If you go near him now, you will smell alcohol and Indian hemp on his breath. Take his blood sample, you will find that he has been taking drugs. and he has a gun. Isn't that a recipe for disaster? Nigerians, where will they go for this country? What a shame. Next video here is that of Adams Oshiomhole speaking as if he is no longer a member of the APC. You see, the truth is, crimes like illegal mining and crude oil theft in Nigeria are being carried out by men who are connected to Aso Rock. So, asking for a prosecution of those men, especially the retired generals, is tantamount to asking for a prosecution of TINUBU. But Oshiomhole just did that in this video. See the video.
The chairman of the Senate Committee on Interior, Senator Adams Oshiomhole, is alleging that some retired military generals may be responsible for the illegal mining activities across Nigeria, which has continued to undermine the country's effort to diversify its economy. Senator Oshiomhole made this assertion during the budget presentation of the chairman of the Senate Committee on Solid Minerals Development, Senator Samson Epong, at the Committee on Appropriation. Well, Senator Oshiomhole expresses frustration over the federal government's inaction, asking President Bola Tinubu's administration to address the illegal mining crisis decisively.
Sir, who can afford to buy a chopper to land in an illegal mining site, cut away gold, return to Sediti, and then on the way to airport, bam, take them out of the country? This is happening. So I agree with you, but my position is that we shouldn't, as senators, be lamenting. As senators, we should fix the problem. We should tell the executive, you must deploy exactly the same force that you deploy against illegal oil bunkering. That same force should be deployed to deal with criminals who are money. When I say criminal, it can be a retired general, it can be a retired permanent secretary, it can be a retired trade unionist or a retired labor leader. Whoever is involved, they should be dealt with. Let Nigeria see that we are not condoning this. We are not lamenting what is going on. You know, when you have a country of people who are above the law because they are supposed to have served the country and they have retired and now they become the real barons, we should recommend steep penalties, and through the leadership of the Senate and the National Assembly, you know, draw President's attention that he has to find the political will to deal decisively with criminals that are cutting away our precious stones and other precious solid.
You heard that. But the truth is, these ex-military generals don't act alone. If you know the amount of money those men derive from illegal mining, you would know that the people in power are highly involved. They let the ex-generals mine illegally, then they get their own percentage after sales. This is what Peter Obi refers to as the structure of criminality that must be dismantled. They are all working together. So you see somebody mining illegally, you think you can call the police to arrest him. The police can come and pick him ignorantly, but at the end of the day, calls will start coming in from above that release that guy. That is what they are doing in Nigeria. And I believe Oshiomhole is aware of all this. He is probably just playing to the gallery, you know, just to get Nigerians excited as if something is about to happen. But nothing will ever happen. Nigerians and only Nigerians can rescue themselves from this wicked and greedy political class. Point blank, period. Now, let us look at the top stories. First is that update on student union government rejecting Tinubu's disgraceful gifts of bags of rice. And next is that story coming out of the National Assembly. Senators asking vice chancellors for bribe before approving their 2025 budget. Let's start by taking that update from SUG presidents. Look at how the papers reported it. Bags of rice to all SUG presidents. Premium Times. The student union leaders at the Obafemi Awolowo University, OAU Ile-Ife, Osun State, and the Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, Kaduna State, have rejected the rice palliative distributed by Bola Tinubu to student union government presidents in tertiary institutions across the country. In separate statements, the union leaders criticized the gesture, stating that the distribution of rice palliatives fails to address the fundamental challenges facing the Nigerian students. The SUG president at OAU, Damilola Isaac, said he had not received any rice palliative and would not accept them even if they were delivered. Mr. Isaac emphasized that his administration's focus remains on advocating for better educational standards and student welfare, rather than accepting handouts that do not address the systemic challenges facing the Nigerian education sector. Whether or not the release was authentic, it has become imperative that I address this issue, he said. He suggested that the government should prioritize palliative that reduce tuition burdens and improve university infrastructure. I urge the general public and the entire Great Ife community to disregard the claims associated with my name in the release. Rest assured, this administration remains committed to championing the interest of Great Ife students and standing for the ideals of accountability and integrity. Meanwhile, the president of the Students' Representative Council at ABU, Ibrahim Nazir, also rejected the palliative, stating that he would not accept his share until he is assured that there is enough rice for his fellow students. Instead of distributing rice periodically, we implore the government to concentrate on creating conditions that will enable people to afford necessities like rice on their own. What a shame. What is the relationship between SUG presidents and bags of rice? This government has nothing else to offer ordinary Nigerians than rice. And most of the times, even the rice does not actually get to the people they said they gave them to. Of course, you heard the SUG president of OAU there saying that he has not seen any rice palliative. He was only rejecting the palliative ahead. He's saying they should not bother to bring them, that he doesn't need them. But they have not actually brought them. Yet, it is in the news that they have given SUG presidents rice. But the SUG presidents are saying, come and take your disgraceful bags of rice. We don't need them. What a shame. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to this, that big story from the National Assembly began making the rounds. Senators openly demanding bribe of vice chancellors. Look at how the papers reported it. Premium Times. Who is protecting our universities? Lawmakers demand 8 million naira bribes from university heads to approve budgets, threatening those who resist. Is this the leadership we deserve? Again, some lawmakers in the Nigerian National Assembly have set up a bribery scheme targeting federal universities and other tertiary institutions in the country. Premium Times can report that lawmakers are using intimidation and threats to force the heads of universities to pay 8 million naira each to approve their allocations in the 2025 budget. These newspapers' investigation revealed that the extortion scheme involves senators and members of the House of Representatives. The lawmakers operating through the Senate Committee on Tertiary Education and TED Fund and the House Committee on University Education are demanding money from universities to approve their budgets. The lawmakers are expecting 480 million naira from the extortion, and they have assigned 2 vice chancellors from the North Central and Northwest geopolitical zones to coordinate the payments to avoid detection. For many university vice chancellors who have appeared before the 2 committees, the experience has been the same. Lawmakers brazenly demanding bribes in exchange for budget approval. Vice chancellors who refuse to comply are threatened with probes or the non-passage of their institutions' budgets. It was gathered that the House Committee chaired by Hassan Fulata, APC, Jigawa, set the extortion scheme in motion on 16 January during a meeting with some vice chancellors. At the meeting, the VCs were given clear and firm instructions about what was expected of them. Initially scheduled for 10 a.m. that day, the meeting was delayed until 3 p.m. due to behind-the-scenes discussions between lawmakers and some vice chancellors. Speaking anonymously for fear of being victimized, one of the vice chancellors said the lawmakers were explicit in their demands. The source revealed that the lawmakers criticized the vice chancellors for not cooperating, unlike other institutions that comply without resistance. At one point, the tone of the meeting became more threatening. Sources at the meeting said the committee members cajoled, threatened, and even humiliated some vice chancellors. They threatened us with probes if we failed to play ball with them, one attendee told Premium Times. He added, most other agencies are not grumbling like the VCs. Wow, you heard that. Now, like I said, culture will eat up strategy any day. The Senate committee was set up, to look into issues, several issues, including the budget. So all the institutions and, parastatals in Nigeria and ministries come together, come and defend your 2025 budget. The things that you have submitted as your budget for 2025, let's talk about it. Come and defend it. Let us be sure that you are not trying to exploit Nigerians. That is one of the functions of the committee. But look at what they have turned it into. Because we have a culture of corruption. It's supposed to be a good strategy to scrutinize institutions. But the senators have become wolves themselves. They want to completely destroy the educational sector. By the time you are asking these vice chancellors for bribe, then they give you the bribe and you approve the budget. What are you telling them? You are telling them that they should do whatever they want with the budget. And of course, you don't need a soothsayer to tell you that this is the same thing they did with all the institutions that came before them. If not, how come the Minister for Power said he needed 8 billion naira to run advert to tell Nigerians to pay NEPA bill? And that scaled through. If not, how did the Inspector General of Police turn up with about 3 or 4 different copies of the budget for police? And it went through. Because these guys have bribed all those Senate committee members, especially the chairman and vice chairman. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here by Fred says, these mafia syndicates running our country are shameless. In a normal society, they would be investigated and jailed if found culpable, but not with this corrupt government who came to power through fraudulent means. That is it. That is why Peter Obi said you cannot enter a house through the window and start trying to clean the house. He said you yourself must emerge through a very, very credible process before you can start imposing credibility on the nation. Have you now seen it? Is it somebody that rigged his way to power, somebody that snatched and grabbed it, that will come and correct this kind of a thing? And this tweet here by Eric says, then I pause to wonder whether this country can ever again set out to the right path and course. Can you imagine, to approve their budget, these avarice had eaten so deep into the fabrics of our society. The level of corruption here cannot be overcome in decades to come. So sad. Some Nigerians have completely given up on this country. And Dan Lara here says, can you imagine? I said this before. These lawmakers were giving bribes to pass quickly the bill for the tax reform without proper consultations. Now they are asking the vice chancellors for bribe to approve education budget. May Nigeria never happen to my enemy. This one is saying he does not hate his enemy to the point of asking Nigeria to happen to him. And Ibrahim Mustafa here says the collapse of the educational system in Nigeria is not their concern, provided extortions and budget padding can be used to sponsor their children's overseas education from these illegal proceeds of corruption. And Adetola Judia says they have destroyed the country. Despite this news, they will still pay and our lawmakers will collect. That is it. This is where the people come in. If something like this have been put out in a society where the people are serious, everybody will flood the streets. But here, we are not going to see that happen. And that is why this evil will continue to thrive. But I'm not surprised. This is the APC. This is what they stand for. They have come to steal, to kill, and to destroy. Look at what they have turned every sector of this country into. There is no single sector that is working. And this is what gives them joy. Because they are fulfilling the promises that they have made to the devil, who is their father. And that is why I keep telling Nigerians that for us to have a country at all in the near future, we must come together, kick our sentiments aside and unite to get the APC out of power. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una. Now I dey here, so don't go away. Don't go.